The Grand Chess Tour 2018 has started. The first event is taking place in Belgium, in Leuven, and pretty much the whole world elite, except for world champion Magnus Carlsen, is playing in the Grand Chess Tour. And this event is 9 games of rapid chess and 11 rounds of blitz chess. It was the first day, 3 games were played, and I want to show you a game between the challenger of this year's World Championship match, Fabiano Caruana, and Wesley So, his fellow American colleague from the chess team, and also of course a very strong player, as you can see here with the rating points. So let's get to a game. Caruana with the white piece was the very first round of the day, and I think it was a pretty important one. So let's see what happened here. E4, E5, and we're going for the Ruy Lopez, knight of 6 castle, and here bishop E7. Now the absolute main move is rook E1, but D3 has become more popular as another way to play against the Ruy Lopez. D6, A4. Now threatening to take on B5. Black has many ways to respond to this threat. B4, bishop G4, bishop B7, but So goes for bishop D7. C3, castle, bishop C2, rook E8. All of this has been seen before. The typical moves here for both sides. The knight often wants to go to G3 or E3 and support E4, and sooner or later white wants to push D4. Whereas black, if he's in time, he wants to push D5, but you always have to make sure you do it under good circumstances. And here bishop F8 has been played, which is another useful move to remove the bishop from the e-file and support d5 for later on. But So plays b4, also interesting. Now Caruana plays d4, so he goes immediately for the center approach here. Might be a little bit early. He could have still improved his position with, let's say, knight c4, for example, but d4 is also possible. And rook b8, the rook occupies the soon-to-be open b-file, d5, attacking the knight on c6. And now, nice intermediate move here, takes on c3. White cannot take on c6 because then black can take on d2. Let's just play this out real quick. You always want to make sure you calculate these variations correctly. And here the point is that black takes with check. Of course, white needs to react to the check, and then black would be just up material in this position. So this is why white takes back. Knight goes to a5, and now we see why So played rook b8, so his rook occupies the open b file, and this is always what you want to do with the rooks. Rooks love open files, so put them there, or half open files. So a half open file is a file where there's still one pawn. So if the pawn wasn't on c3 but on b2, it would be a half open file. Bishop a3, now c6. I really like this move to get the queen to c7 and to pressure the pawns here on d5. c4. Caruana supports the pawn chain, and queen c7, bishop to d3, getting out of the c-file and protecting the pawn on c4 in case black takes on d5, or the square on c4. Knight to b7, also a nice move. So wants to improve his knight, wants to get to c5, where it would be well placed, and this is why Caruana goes knight b3 to stop knight c5, then he could take it. Now a5. Bishop c1, Caruana's regrouping the bishop, which wasn't doing that much on a3 anymore. Now bishop g4, bishop e3, and knight d7. And again a nice maneuver by So, first bringing the bishop to g4, pinning the knight, and now he wants again to get a knight to c5. Now h3, takes, and here also it's interesting, just for you guys to have this as an idea, to exchange the dark squared bishops, because let's say in this kind of position, if black will just make some kind of move, if black can get this kind of position, would be really nice for black, as he has the strong bishop, a strong knight, and white has the bad bishop, which is locked in and blocked by his own pawns. As you can see here, a lot of the white pawns are on the same color, and this is restricting the white bishop. So this would be a dream scenario. Just to have this as an idea for you, you always want to check for which kind of light minor piece you want to go for which minor piece combination. And here the dream for black would be the knight against the light squared bishop by white. But So played a different approach here, which is also fine. He went knight c5 immediately, and now we reach opposite color bishops. Bishop to f1, and now rook b4, and the position is about equal, but a little bit easier to play for black because he has the b file, he has a nice square on b4. White can never really take the rook there because then black would get protected past pawn, and he has this weakness which he can attack, and we'll see this later on. Whereas it's not clear where white is playing here. Rook d1, so far so good, both sides making useful moves here, but I think this was a critical moment. Here white should take with the rook to get more counterplay with the rook, as the rook is hitting both these pawns. Now white also has a nice outpost for the rook here on d5, and it seems the position will remain equal. Queen c6, let's say, but whenever black tries to take on a4, then white would get the pawn on e5. For example, here you could play queen h5, hitting the pawn in case black wants to take, bishop f6, and now just h4, and it's not clear how black could win the pawn on a4 without giving up another pawn, and then white should get enough counterplay here. Of course the a pawn is dangerous, it's a passed pawn, but white should get enough counterplay, excuse me. So c takes c5, but now white has a protected passed pawn, but the bishop is blocking it, and white doesn't have any play. Black controls the only file in the position, only open file, and there's no play to be found for white. Caruana tries, he goes h4, queen d7, and now we see this. So wants to take this pawn sooner or later, bishop d3, but he takes his time. Very nice, plays g6, first defending against any queen f5, queen e4 ideas, first defending. And tough to suggest a move here for white, but g4 seems to be going in the wrong direction. Maybe try something like queen f6 and hope to save this endgame, even though it will be also quite tough. Caruana played g4 and he was hoping to get some attack going, but actually, as it turns out, the only one who can get an attack going is black. Queen e7, nice move, hitting the pawn on h4, h5, and now the queen on g5, just perfect. Protecting the pawn on g6 and attacking the pawn on g4 and participating in the attack. Takes, queen to g2, unpinning the pawn on g4. Now the rook comes to f8, of course, and black has both his rooks in the game, whereas the white rooks are just looking on passively. Rook e1, rook to b3, rook e3, rook f4, and this is really difficult for white. Of course, now rook takes g4 is a threat. Caruana played a cute move here, bishop f5, but turns out it's not that good. Difficult to suggest moves once again. Probably best try would be to play bishop e2, but after rook takes f2, a little combination here, black would get into this endgame with a pawn up, and white's surviving chances are also pretty slim, but this was the best chance because after bishop f5, the point is that now the rook is hanging, and if black takes, then white could, if he wants to move the bishop to e6 with check, but so just goes rook b2 going after this pawn, and the bishop on e6 looks nice, but it's not helping in any way in the defense here, and this is where it's absolutely needed in this position. Now rook f1, and here, so just picks up the pawn on c4. White doesn't have any counterplay still, and he can just go after the pawns. Queen g3, and now rook bb4, threatening to take here. Queen h2, rook f4, and here e4, nicely played. Now getting this bishop into the attack as well. f3. And here, of course, there are many ways, but I like how So went about it. He's just opening another file for his rook, playing h5, cannot be taken because of rook h4, and after queen h3, nice maneuver once again, the rook comes back, and this will be deadly as the rook ends up on h8, and all the black pieces, of course, are placed perfectly, and white is not even up material for the crushing attack that black has here. Queen g3, and now check, and rook takes g4, and this is game over here. Caruana resigned because after queen takes g4, there comes checkmate in 3 moves. Check to h2, king goes to g1, queen takes e3, check, and queen takes f2, checkmate. So a wonderful game by Wesley So, who was able to take revenge for his last round loss in Norway Chess, which just ended a few days ago. And Wesley So had a tremendous day one. He won two games, drew one, and is leading the competition after the first day. So this was the game Caruana and So. Let me know if you have any questions, and if you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like and also subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it, and then I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.